This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here are today's top stories from Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the region. The United Nations' most powerful body will hold emergency talks tomorrow on Azerbaijan's ongoing blockade of Nagorno-Karabakh. The U.S. mission to the UN, which currently holds the Security Council's rotating presidency, said the meeting will take place tomorrow afternoon New York time. Armenian Foreign Minister Ararat Mirzoyan will take part in the discussions, a spokesperson confirmed today. As of this afternoon, Azerbaijan's foreign ministry had not indicated if Ceyhun Bayramov would be present for the talks as well. Last Friday, Armenia's UN ambassador formally asked the 15-member council to convene an emergency session on the blockade, which stretched past the 8-month mark over the weekend and has pushed Nagorno-Karabakh's roughly 120,000 Armenians to the brink of famine. The people of Nagorno-Karabakh are on the verge of a full-fledged humanitarian crisis, Permanent Representative Meher Margaryan wrote to the council, the only UN body with the power to issue legally binding resolutions. In a related development, U.S. Representative Adam Schiff of California said yesterday he had sent a letter to President Joe Biden urging him to direct Washington's UN diplomats to introduce a Security Council resolution to deploy a fact-finding mission to Nagorno-Karabakh. Tomorrow will be the Security Council's second meeting to discuss Azerbaijan's blockade of Nagorno-Karabakh. After a previous round of talks about a week after the blockade began last December, the Council failed to issue a joint statement or resolution, reportedly amid diplomatic infighting between permanent members France and Russia. The European Union said yesterday it had not observed any troop buildup along the Armenia-Azerbaijan border after Baku accused Yerevan and Stepanakert of conducting a large-scale accumulation of weaponry and other military equipment and personnel along the border and in Nagorno-Karabakh. We see no unusual military movement or buildup, the EU's monitoring mission in Armenia wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter. The foreign ministries of Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh also dismissed the claim of a troop buildup as disinformation intended to aggravate the situation in the region and charged Azerbaijan with trying to divert international attention from the blockade. In other news, the EU wrote on X that its observers were present at a shooting incident today along the Armenia-Azerbaijan border. Earlier, the EU's monitoring mission had said its observers had not been shot at by Azerbaijani forces, dismissing a claim by Armenia's defense ministry that Azerbaijani troops fired at EU observers this afternoon during a patrol near the border village of Verin-Shorja. The correcting statement appears to indicate that an incident did in fact take place, but not necessarily that EU observers were specifically targeted. In other news from Verin-Shorja, Armenia's defense ministry said yesterday evening one of its soldiers was critically wounded by Azerbaijani fire on Armenian positions near the village in the eastern Gegharkunik region. Yerevan and Baku often report upticks in ceasefire violations along their undemarcated border in the run-up to diplomatic talks. And in education news, U.S. philanthropist Pamela Wood Avedissian has donated $20 million to the American University of Armenia to build new humanities, social sciences, and arts buildings. In a press release last week, AUA welcomed what it described as a transformational gift for the university and said construction of the new facilities is expected to begin next year. It did not indicate when it expects the buildings to be completed. Founded in 1991, AUA was Armenia's first Western-style university and the first U.S. accredited institution of higher education in any former Soviet country. Since then, it has rapidly expanded to become one of Armenia's most prestigious and recognized universities. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 1,290. That's the number of new books published in Armenia last year, according to a tally kept by the country's statistical committee. About 90 of them were published in Armenian, with Russian and English coming in as the next most popular publishing languages. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground in Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the region.